Dr. Krishna Chaitanya, a senior neurosurgeon working in Kauvery Hospital, Electronic City. I'd like to talk a little about head injuries since we are having the World Head Injury Day on Monday, and how head injuries impact the younger population and the productivity of the nation as a whole. We encounter head injuries very frequently as a part of general road traffic accidents, or as a person probably falling from a height, or it could be again as a way of an assault on somebody. So head injuries doesn't just mean that it's only injury to the head. There is a head injuries will have different types of injuries will be there. There will be some injuries where only the bone, that the skull will be injured, and there are other severe injuries in which the inside brain also gets injured. Because of it being so soft, it is very prone to injuries. It's okay. So that is the reason why we have a outside skull which protects the brain due to any mild traumas. If a patient has an injury to the leg, you can do a surgery or you can give a cast so that once the patient recovers from it, he can start using his limb again. Unfortunately, in the brain, as we talked earlier, that it doesn't have that mechanical strength, and the ability to regenerate also is very limited. So that because of that, what happens is if any part of the brain gets damaged, that particular part of the brain, the function which comes out of that particular part of the brain can also be damaged. Just like if the person has a left-sided injury to the brain, he can develop weakness of the right side of the upper limb and the lower limb, and that can persist for his lifetime. So head injury in a way is different because it adds a lot of morbidity to the patient, and to the not just to the patient, to the even to the family, because the family has to take care of the person because he'll not be able to take care of himself, and also to the society because a young productive person who's supposed to actually, because of his skill and all that, actually contribute to society, has to be taken care of by the society. So the productivity of the society in general also comes down because of head injuries. I would just like to tell you about different ways in which people can have head injury, and we have seen head injury can happen in among the senior most people to the youngest of the kids or babies. So I'll just give you some scenarios in which we generally see the patients, or a person who has a car was in a hurry and then he reversed the car, and unfortunately he didn't see that his young kid was just behind the car, and then he just ran over the kid, and then he had a very severe head injury, and then the baby died. Okay, another scenario I'll just give you is that an elderly gentleman who was waiting in the traffic signal, and then another taxi driver was there in front of them, was not moving forward in spite of there being space in front of us. Okay, so what happened was he kept on honking. The old gentleman was kept on honking on the taxi driver. So that irritated the taxi driver, and then he came out and he took on large stone and then he pelted it onto the patient's windshield, and it had a severe head injury that all these patients we have treated. What I'm talking about is all patients we have treated, and in some ways. And this particular patient was there for a long time, few months, 7, 8 months, and then eventually he succumbed to his injuries. So it's an honest request from my side to, the only way out of head injury is not treatment, but it's prevention. So the prevention is the most important thing, which we all need to understand, because brain is an organ which cannot regenerate the way other organs can, or other systems can regenerate or rehabilitate. From henceforth, wherever we are encountering people, to be tolerant about the way they're behaving, and to take it slow, and try to follow traffic signals, try to follow the whatever guidelines which have been set by the government and by each other, and then let's hope that we can reduce the incidence of head injuries.